I want to tell you the simplest way to price your offers so that you can sell without triggering your nervous system. So welcome back to the channel. I absolutely stand by the fact that you should price your offer before you create it. So you start with a price and then you decide what you're going to create based on that price point. This completely changes the dynamic of how you create programs, how you create your offers, what you put in them, because you're leading with how much you want to sell for and then deciding what you're going to offer for that price. So there's an energy behind selling. When you decide that you want to sell something, there is an energy behind it, and that energy is either going to be super pumped, super excited, like know that it's insane value, that clients are going to get insane results, that you absolutely love what you're selling, that you cannot wait for people to hear about it, or the energy behind it is going to be, you know, the price is too high, nobody's ever going to buy this, I don't know what the offer actually gives people, I don't know what the outcome is, I don't know why somebody would buy this, but everyone else has got a similar offer, so you know somebody else is having success with this, so I'm just going to kind of do the same thing and hope for the best. And without even like taking a second, you can easily tell which offer is going to sell the best. So when I talk to clients, especially if you're very new in business, if you've not sold something before, if you've not sold online before, it's a completely different kind of game to how you might sell a physical product if you're selling something like a course or a digital product. Now, the really key thing here is that you have to be able to get behind your pricing 1,000,000%. If you can't get behind your pricing, you're never going to sell anything. So I always say to clients, okay, there's two kind of key things that you want to do, and we've got a video on the idea of like your goals and your finances and how you do that, so you know you can absolutely watch that. But the key thing that I tell people is the first thing that you want to know is how much you want to earn in a month, like total, and then you want to look at pricing your offer so that it's a price point that you're comfortable with and a number of sales that you're comfortable making. Okay, so say for instance you wanted to make £2,000 and you knew that you were comfortable selling something that cost £200 and you were comfortable making 10 sales a month. That like felt really doable for you. Then your price point is £200, you're going for 10 sales a month, and that will give you your £2,000. It might be that later down the line you feel more confident, you feel more comfortable, and you say, oh, okay, actually the same offer, because my skill level has increased, is going to be £400, and now either you can make 5 sales at £400, which feels really comfortable, or if you feel super comfortable, you can make 10 sales at £400. And you can keep your number of sales the same but increase your income, or you can lower the amount of sales that you need to make and still get the same income. So this idea of like picking a number first is really important. Now, once you've got a number and your energy is like all in it and you're all excited and you know like this is exactly what I want to be doing, you can then start to shape your offer and actually decide what you're going to sell, what it's going to look like. Because the key thing here is that your offer structure is going to be dictated by the price point that you're setting. So it's not to say like, oh, you can't include things because the price is too low, or you have to include things because the price is so high. Not that. But it's like what people expect for the amount of money that they're spending. So if you said to somebody, you know, they can have a full year of one-to-one where you speak to them every single week for 90 minutes and all they had to pay you was £50 for the year, people are going to question how good that offer is. They're going to question, what value am I actually going to get for that amount of money? So if you were saying, okay, you know, I'm going to have a product that is, you know, a £7 template versus a £29 workshop, versus a £200 like mini program or mini course versus a £400-500 like group program that has like live sessions and one-to-one offers, you can suddenly see how the scale shifts depending on the price point that you pick and what you're comfortable selling. Now, it's not to say that, well, if they're only paying £7, you need to go really light on value. That's absolutely not the case. If you're doing a £7 offer that is a template or a worksheet or, you know, a more simple offer to create, you still want to make it the best possible value that you can for the amount of money that they're paying. The same with like a mini course or, you know, anything that you're creating. Now, what you've got to remember with pricing is that everybody will have a different value that they put on certain things. So I always love the example of hair scrunchies, hair ties. You can go to Poundland in the UK or the dollar store or any of these kind of bargain stores, and you can buy a whole like a box of hair bands for £1, yeah, or $1. If you go to Tiffany's, the jewelers, they sell a Tiffany scrunchie in the Tiffany blue that is £750. Okay, so it's a hair scrunchie. It does exactly the same thing. It ties your hair up, but you can pay a couple of like pence for one, or you can pay £750. And there are people who buy those hair scrunchies. There are people who buy Poundland hair scrunchies, and there are people everywhere in the middle. So when you think about this, like, there will always be consumers who want to buy at your price point. There will always be consumers who want to buy your particular offer. But if you are not energetically aligned with it, if you are not excited about the offer, you're not going to be able to sell it. So this is what I want you to think about. What is the price point that you want to create? And then what is the kind of logical offer structure that fits that price point that you feel really, really good about? And again, like, we have videos on offer creation. You can go and look at those and see what your offer should include. But it's mainly just about this idea of price first, offer structure second, always in that order, because that way you can make sure that you're adding in so much value for the price point and that you feel really excited about your offer. You feel like that offer is going to make a big difference for somebody, because that is what you want to aim for. That is what you want to you want to get across to people, is actually that you add value. And the really big thing is, when you do it this way, you stop playing the game of trying to sell your worth, and you start playing the game of selling what you're comfortable selling. So many people, when they first kind of come and work with me, they'll say a lot of the times they've engaged with like another coach or business mentor online, and they've bought something that's like a copy and paste like strategy for creating an offer. And the problem with that is, if you come to me and you say, I want to create an offer, I don't know what to create, and I say, okay, well, you're going to create an online course, it's going to have 6 modules, a worksheet, recorded videos, this is what you're going to include, and you go away and you create it, and I say this is the price point because that's what it's worth, it's a really, really jarring situation for your nervous system. Because if you don't believe that what you've created is worth that amount of money, you're never going to actually make those sales. And when you start to attach the worth of you to a particular product, you start to lose sight of why you're creating a business and what you're doing. Your business, your products, your offers, your client results, like, none of that determines the worth of you as a person. So this idea that we're playing into, like, oh, well, I can't charge any less than this because that's what I'm worth, can be really, really detrimental for the growth of your business. Because when you actually start to run an offer, say you put an offer in place, you get your first 5 clients at a lower rate, they'll get amazing results, you feel confident to raise your prices, you raise them, you sell another 5 at that rate, they'll get amazing results, you raise them, and you just keep going down this cycle, and it is so powerful. Versus setting a price that's too high to start with, feeling really energetically unaligned, not making any sales, and then getting in your head and saying like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to do this, nobody thinks I'm valuable, like nobody thinks I'm worth it, like I can never make sales like this, and you just go into this spiral of doubt, and that's exactly what you want to try and avoid. So if you can sit down and say, what is my offer? What would make this insane value for my ideal client? The type of offer they're getting, the price point they're paying, the bonuses that you're including, like the whole package is like just insanely valuable. You then get into this remit of selling value over your own personal worth. And that's what I want for you. I want you to shift this dynamic of like your worth being attached to your business, because regardless of who you are, what you do, whether your business is successful yet or not, you are still valuable. I saw a really amazing video the other day from Gary Vee. If you've not heard of him, he's massive. Go look at him on Instagram. He's amazing. And somebody came up to him and was chatting to him behind the scenes for one of his guest speaker events. And they said to him, like, one day I want to be somebody. And he just stopped them and said, like, you already are somebody, like you are already somebody important. And I think that it's so important to understand that like the income that you have, the balance of your bank account, the impact that you make in the world, like none of that makes you valuable. You are valuable already as an independent, like as an entity. So this idea that everyone wants to attach the price point of an offer to their worth and what they're worth to the world, like I'm absolutely not behind that. We need to come away from that so dramatically, because if we don't, selling will never feel aligned. It will always feel icky. It will always feel like we're trying to force people to buy something that we don't believe in. Whereas actually if we massively believe in what we're doing, selling gets to be aligned, it gets to be fun, it gets to be easy, and that's what I want for you. Like I want that shift. So I want you to sit down and think, like, what is that price point that you want to like earn? What is the number of sales that you feel comfortable making? And then what price point does that put your offer at? And then what offer, if it is the offer you've got already or maybe a different offer, would perfectly fit that price point? Now, I know that like at different times, I'm in different energies. So sometimes I'm super in the energy of selling balance code, big program, £1.5, or £1,200 investment, and I'm like all for it, and that's what I'm like so excited for. And other times, like my energy's a bit lower, I don't feel like going out and doing massive sales launches, I'm not really in the vibe for it. So I've got other things that I can sell, £7 template packs, £29 workshops, like £29 mini programs. Like I've got other things that I can go out and sell if that's what I'm in the mood to sell. And at no point do I think, oh, if somebody only pays me £29 versus paying me £1,250, suddenly my value's worth less. No, when somebody buys a £29 program, I'm losing my mind for that person, because I'm like, oh my gosh, your life is about to change, you're going to absolutely love this, your business is going to be so, so good, and I cannot wait for that to happen for you. Like, that's the vibe. So I want you to really think about that and think about, like, what is the vibe that you're leading with? What are you, like, attaching to the sales process that you just don't need to? And how can you price your offers where you're coming up with a price first, you're creating an offer that matches, and you just feel excited to go out and start making sales? Okay, that's it for this week. It was so great to spend some time with you. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe so that you can get all of our updates every single week, and I will see you guys soon.